Hello everyone, welcome. This is the first of two videos about the present perfect tense. If you are watching this for the first time because you didn't come to class when we studied this, then you should pause the video when we practice making questions and answers. So we're just going to talk about what is the present perfect tense, how can we use it, and then have a little practice with it. Okay, so when do we use the present perfect tense? We use it in English to talk about an action that happened at an unspecified time in the past. Okay, unspecified time means we don't say the exact time. So this is talking about past actions. So it's similar to the simple past tense, but it's different. With the simple past tense, even if you don't say when the action happened, it is about a specific or exact time in the past. With the present perfect, it's kind of an open time in the past, and maybe the time isn't important, or if you're asking a question, maybe you don't know the time, you're talking about any time in the past. Okay, also with the simple past, the action is always a completed action. With the present perfect tense, the action might be completed. For example, if I say, I have lived in Chicago, that is present perfect. I have lived in Chicago. The action is in the past and it's completed. I do not live in Chicago now, so it's completed. But with the present perfect, the action might be continuing or ongoing, means it has not been completed. If this is the case, you're going to see since or for. So I have this two sentences. I have lived in Gyeongju since 2012. I have lived in Gyeongju for 2 years. This means that I still live in Gyeongju now. The action is continuing. Remember, since tells you the starting time of the action, and for tells you the duration or the amount of time of the action. So how about you? How long have you lived in Gyeongju? Alright, now let's look at the present perfect tense, and first remember our simple present tense statements. I live in Korea, she lives in Seoul. And with the present perfect, you're going to add this. You add the have or has. This is the auxiliary or the a. So when we studied the Aussie and quasi question styles, we used an a. We used a different a. We have to use have and has for present perfect, and you put it after the subject and before the main verb in a statement. All right, we're going to look at each part in a little bit. But if the sentence is negative, simple present tense, I don't live in Korea, she doesn't live in Korea, you're going to make it pretty similar for present perfect. I have not lived in Korea, she has not lived in Seoul. So you use the same a and the same main verb, and you put the not between the have or has and the main verb. You can also contract to make I haven't lived in Korea, she hasn't lived in Seoul. And you can also use never to make a negative statement. She has never lived in Seoul. Okay, now in the question forms, let's remember our simple present Aussie style. Do you live in Korea? Does she live in Seoul? Okay, if you're watching for the first time, pause the video, think about how you can make the question, same question, but use the present perfect. And a hint, you're going to change the a, and you are going to use a different form of the main verb. All right? So, yes or no questions. Have you lived in Korea? Has she lived in Seoul? Okay, for the a, you have to use have or has. For the subjects I, you, we, or they, use have. And only for the third person singular subjects, you use has. So she has, he has, it has. It can be anything like the car has or the dog has, and any person like John has or your teacher has, and so on. All right, choose correctly, matching to the subject, have or has, and to study today, we are going to make the A orange to help you remember. Okay, then the verb form you use is called the past participle. We're just going to call it the PP. You don't have to memorize this word. This is the third column in your verb study guide, your study paper. So we have the regular verbs like study and play, and the PP will be the same as the past form of the verb. It's your D, ED, or IED ending. And then we have all the irregular verbs. Now sometimes the PP form will be the same as the past form, like met, but many times it will be different. So you just have to study our guide, memorize them, and practice them. All right, so as we practice today, you want this third column when you make your questions and answers. All right, let's practice a bit. Yes or no questions. You're going to start with your A, choose correctly have or has, matching to the S, the subject, and then use the PP form of the verb. And then your answer has a subject, the A, and the same PP form of the verb. Example, has your mother called? Yes, my mother has called. Have you seen Iron Man 3? No, I haven't seen Iron Man 3. You can also give a short yes or no answer. Has your mother called? Yes, she has. Have you seen Iron Man 3? No, I haven't. Okay, please practice. Now, for a yes-no question, choose correctly the A, the have or has, matched to the subject in green, and then use this verb, and don't forget to change the form of the verb to the PP form of the verb. You can use your study guide if you need to, and you can pause the video to make the questions if it's your first time. Then you should also make a good, complete sentence answer. Okay, the questions. Has your best friend given you a present? Have you done your English homework? Let's try two more. Pause to make the questions and answers. Have you gone to the beach? Have your parents sent you money? And let's try one more. This is about our international lounge. Have you gone to the lounge? Or have you gone to the international lounge? And that's your question. All right, now we're going to stop this video for today. This is part one. Part two, we are going to add some new words into the questions. We're going to add the words ever, today, or some other times, and yet, to kind of change the style of the question or get different information. Next time we are also going to make open present perfect questions with any words like anything, anyone, anywhere, which will help you make interesting conversations about different topics. And we're going to look at information questions. So today we changed Aussie questions to the present perfect style. We can do the same thing with quasi, make it present perfect, and it's pretty easy. And then we're going to start with present perfect starting questions, like have you ever eaten snake? And then next week we're going to look at how we use simple past to make follow-up questions. Okay, you can think about why do we do that? If we start with present perfect, why are we going to change to simple past for the follow-up questions? All right, that will be in the next part. Thanks for watching.